What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? We've got a major roster shakeup to talk about today, and trust me, this move is already turning heads across the NFL. Just when fans thought the defensive tackle room in Kansas City was getting crowded, the Chiefs made a bold decision that officially closed the door on one former high-upside player. And the craziest part? The New York Giants wasted absolutely no time jumping all over the opportunity. This story isn't just about a player getting waived. This is about what the move says regarding the future of the Kansas City Chiefs defense, the team's confidence in its young talent, and how Andy Reid and Brett Veach are quietly building something dangerous again in the trenches. Chiefs fans have been asking all offseason whether the front office truly believed in the young defensive line prospects. And now we finally have our answer. So stick around because we're breaking down why Zacch Pickens was cut, why the Giants immediately claimed him, what this means for Peter Woods and Norman-Lott moving forward, and why Kansas City may already have its next defensive line breakout star waiting to explode in 2026. And Chiefs Kingdom, I want to know right now in the comments. Do you think the Chiefs made the right decision moving on from Pickens? Or did they give up too early on a former third-round talent? The Kansas City Chiefs officially waived 3 players on May 4th as they continued reshaping the roster during the late stages of NFL free agency. While several moves flew under the radar, one name instantly grabbed attention around the league: veteran defensive tackle Zacch Pickens. And almost immediately after Kansas City let him go, the New York Giants swooped in and claimed him off waivers. That quick claim tells you something important. Even though Pickens never truly found his footing in Kansas City, teams around the NFL still believe there's untapped potential in the former third-round pick. Remember, this is a player who entered the league with serious expectations after being drafted by the Chicago Bears in 2023. Big frame, athletic upside, explosive flashes at South Carolina, the tools were always there. The consistency just never followed. Meanwhile, according to reports from Kansas City insiders, quarterback Jake Haener and defensive end Ethan Hurkett both cleared waivers after their release. But Pickens became the headline because his departure represents much more than a simple roster transaction. It signals that the Chiefs believe their defensive tackle room is already stronger without him. That's a powerful statement from this coaching staff. When the Chiefs originally picked up Pickens before the 2025 season, many fans viewed it as a low-risk, high-reward move. Kansas City has built a reputation for developing overlooked defensive talent, and there was hope that defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo could unlock something special in Pickens' game. Chiefs Kingdom has seen reclamation projects work before, but the reality is that Pickens never managed to carve out a meaningful role. He spent most of the season on the practice squad and only appeared in 3 games for Kansas City. During those limited opportunities, he recorded just 5 total tackles. No sacks, no major momentum-changing plays, no breakout moment that forced the coaching staff to keep him involved. And in the NFL, especially on a championship-contending roster like the Kansas City Chiefs, production matters more than potential. Andy Reid and Brett Veach are not interested in waiting forever for players to develop if younger, cheaper, and more explosive options are already pushing for snaps. That's exactly what happened here. What makes this move even more interesting is the timing. The Chiefs have aggressively upgraded the interior defensive line this offseason, and every single addition made Pickens more expendable. First, Kansas City added veteran defensive tackle Khyiris Tonga, a player known for physicality and reliability against the run. Then came the massive first-round investment in Peter Woods, one of the most exciting defensive prospects in the entire draft class. And don't forget about Norman-Lott. The Chiefs are also expecting big things from the second-year defensive tackle after his injury setbacks slowed his development. Internally, there's growing belief that Norman-Lott can become a dangerous interior pass rusher if he stays healthy. When you combine that optimism with the arrival of Peter Woods, suddenly the defensive tackle room starts looking crowded very fast. That's why this release feels less like a surprise and more like confirmation. The Chiefs are clearly betting on youth, upside, and explosiveness. They're prioritizing long-term development while still maintaining enough veteran presence with players like Chris Jones and Khyiris Tonga leading the group. That balance could become terrifying for opposing offensive lines later this season. And honestly, Chiefs Kingdom should be excited about Peter Woods. This front office does not spend a first-round pick on a defensive tackle unless they believe he can become a cornerstone piece of the defense. The organization sees superstar potential there. Woods brings size, power, athleticism, and versatility that perfectly fits Steve Spagnuolo's aggressive defensive schemes. The scary part for the rest of the NFL is that Woods may not even need to dominate immediately. Kansas City can ease him into the rotation because Chris Jones still commands so much attention up front. That gives Woods and Norman-Lott favorable matchups early in the season, which is exactly how young defensive linemen build confidence and explode onto the national stage. Imagine being an offensive guard trying to block Chris Jones all game, only to suddenly face fresh legs coming off the bench in Peter Woods or Norman-Lott on passing downs. That's exactly the kind of rotational pressure the Chiefs are trying to create. And if one of those young players breaks out early, this defensive front could become one of the deepest units in football. Another important detail here is the silence surrounding Mike Pennell. Chiefs fans know Pennell has been a trusted veteran presence and a locker room favorite, especially among the defensive line group. Many expected Kansas City to bring him back again this offseason, but so far, that hasn't happened. And honestly, that silence says a lot. If the Chiefs were truly worried about their defensive tackle depth, they probably would have already brought Pennell back into the building. Instead, they appear comfortable moving forward with Jones, Tonga, Woods, and Norman-Lott as the primary rotation. That tells you the coaching staff has real confidence in the younger guys stepping up. Now, could the Chiefs still bring Pennell back later in the year? Absolutely. Injuries happen. Depth becomes critical late in the season. But right now, all signs point toward Kansas City wanting to develop its younger defensive tackles and give them meaningful opportunities early in the 2026 campaign. As for Zacch Pickens, this may honestly be the fresh start he needed. Sometimes a player simply doesn't fit within a specific system or depth chart. The Giants clearly saw enough upside to make a claim immediately, and maybe a new environment helps unlock the talent that made him a third-round pick in the first place. But from the Kansas City Chiefs' perspective, this move feels like business as usual. The front office evaluated the roster, identified the players they trust most moving forward, and made a decision based on future impact rather than draft pedigree. That's one of the reasons this organization continues to stay ahead of the curve while other franchises get stuck holding on to underperforming talent for too long. And Chiefs Kingdom, this is where I want your honest opinion. Are you excited about the young defensive tackle rotation heading into the season? Do you believe Peter Woods can make an immediate impact as a rookie? And what are your expectations for Omar Norman-Lott after the injury struggles? Drop your takes in the comments because this defensive line conversation is only getting started. One thing is clear. The Kansas City Chiefs are building this defense with speed, depth, and relentless pressure in mind. Chris Jones remains the centerpiece, but the organization is already preparing the next wave of defensive talent behind him. Moves like cutting Zacch Pickens may seem small on the surface, but they reveal the bigger vision happening behind the scenes in Kansas City. And if Peter Woods or Norman-Lott truly breaks out this season, we may look back at this exact roster move as the moment the Chiefs officially turned the page toward the next dominant era of their defensive front. That's what makes these off-season transactions so fascinating for Chiefs fans paying close attention. If you enjoyed this update, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest Kansas City Chiefs news and updates. And don't forget to share this video with every member of Chiefs Kingdom because things are heating up fast in Kansas City. And this team looks ready for another serious Super Bowl run.